Yeah.
Very cool. All right, guys. Welcome again on this SOW. Okay, and we're glad that you're back with us. Okay, it's a cool morning, and I hope that wherever you are, where you're listening to us, you are enjoying yourself a hot cup of coffee, or even snuggled somewhere, with your pillow. Just don't sleep. Okay, yeah. Okay. But thanks again for joining us, everyone. Or even here, if you're tuning in to us, right? I mean, whether what we say is something that you should take note of, is it? Yeah. So, any important information or any recent news that you've heard that you've heard from channels news, from social media, guys. Yeah. That you think is important, or like should we just ignore, for example?
Personally, actually, I read this article. I think around like last week or so. That there's like, no, actually, 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, there's this article mentioning like more and more people are, for example, like influencers, example like from TikTok, they are actually influencing people and also like giving advice what are the things, example, to invest. So these influencers, they do have a number of followers and they do able to capture a bit of attention. So I'm actually thinking of like first and foremost is quite worrying as well because I'm not so sure how well versed they are in investments, and when they are giving such advice, it probably has some disruption in the market. For example, recently I think from through the like GameStop, and there's actually quite a few things like that's happened in the market quite recently.
Yep. Okay. All right. I think what Ajong mentioned was very true because news has been picked up on the social media, and it's really like filming and flaming the whole cycle or hype or the effect of investing or even certain financial news lah.
Yeah, that's true.
James, what do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of. To me, there's a lot of financial instruments. You are really considering whether to buy or not to buy. Let's take the example like cryptocurrency, right? It was under 10,000. Then when it hits 30, right, you're still thinking whether to buy or not to buy. And then later on, when it hits 60, to buy or not to buy. But if you buy, of course, it came down to 30,000 again. Like this morning, I was looking at another article that talks about Singapore has a new richest man. Yes, yeah,
Really,
yeah. There's another.
Congratulations.
No. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, right? This morning there's the latest news. Let me just take a look at it again. It was the founder, right, of C, the gaming. Yeah.
Oh,
so like,
SEA,
yes,
okay.
yeah, C Limited. Yes.
Yes.
So Forrest Lee. So he was the guy who founded the gaming. And
I think for people out there, probably the more common one that to know that he's also they're also the team behind Shopee, right?
yes.
Yeah. Shopee is a common one that because recently I've been seeing
But the moment you talk about it, right, the song just blast my mind, and it's been stick to my mind for the next few days.
It's the same.
Wow, the way they have advertisements is interesting, whereby they engage a lot of like very popular Jackie Chan, Cristiano Ronaldo, and whoa, wow.
Okay, we cannot sing the song here because once we sing, right, YouTube is gonna block.
Correct.
Okay, let's sing our song. Our own song. Okay, but anyway,
So that exactly for that, right? So they were talking about the share price has soared about 60-70% just this year itself. Yeah. So
and
again,
all this on the back of like social media, tweets and messages online, right?
Yeah. And again, the question that you will have in your mind is, should I buy or don't buy? Just a lot of things
Actually, I'm just thinking, it's like what makes people so attracted to social media news, so I've been just browsing through YouTube. Actually, guys, I have to admit, like my social media feed is mostly from YouTube as well. And that's all. Okay, but I realized that a lot of people tend to go on social media and instead of going for actual courses. This is my take. Let me know what you think. Is that I think all this social media information is short and sweet. And tend to something that you can actually listen or tune into when you're on the move.
Yeah.
Okay. Hence, it's convenient, right?
Yeah.
And bite size, and hence maybe people and of course if the person that is speaking is also like good looking, pretty, sexy, No.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be something that is a plus point for people to follow, and of course, if you have more, like you say, there's a lot of people like influencers, hence they might be able to actually influence a certain decision, regardless of whether their qualification.
Yeah.
Or not. And of course, we're not saying this one to put down those who actually don't have experience, but we're just finding out like what really makes people attracted to such information and then make decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me, right, whether to follow hype news or not, right, I think what is important is really to look at your portfolio, as a whole. Yeah, really, I mean, to me is, I mean, if I were to do that, right, I would be looking at diversification of my own portfolio. Yeah, not too much in a single insurance, not too much in a single investment. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's almost exactly like setting up a soccer player team. You have got 2 striker, 4 midfielder, and then 4 defender, and etc. So really depends on what is your risk appetite. If you are taking a bit more risk, right, you can put 4 striker if you want. But then don't forget that the people that stands in front striking, right, it also means that there is a higher chance of them falling, at the same time as well. So if you ask me, I totally buy into this. I would probably follow this. Okay, so while you're writing, the table shakes.
Yeah. Okay. Respective to what James has shared as well, I think one of the very important in terms of defense is the goalkeeper. Okay. Why I say so? Because in terms of like the whole, for example, those who understand about football, they do have like, in terms of like the attacking, the midfield, the defense. So the defense, the last line of defense actually is the goalkeeper to guard the goalpost to prevent any goal from going in. And I'm actually particular more into this because personally I played the role of goalkeeper in the past when I was playing soccer. So yes, to me I feel that defense. Yes. I started off as a defender, then slowly became like the last line of defense. So yes, it's really important. So it do have a role in part in every aspect, especially even in financial planning. Yes, that's right.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Guys, like, do you think James is if you to play soccer, right, or football, what do you think?
Yeah, which position will I play? Yeah.
And then like for me, what do you think? I also played for football before. Yeah. We may not look like it, but we used to play. Okay.
You look at me, I play the coach.
Oh wow. Behind strategy, right?
Yeah. The coach needs to have some like weight.
The one.
You need to push your weight.
You play the coach. I play the funder. I play the investor better.
You also have to, I think that's true. One thing I also realized, guys, is that in terms of social media, how do we actually cope with all this information? Is that I think the good news about social media is that to our listeners, social media is a good way to find information.
Yeah.
Okay? So compared to years before social media picked up, and we always have to look for information and go online or even like go classes for information. Now it's very easy. So I think the challenge for our listeners, that every one of us, for example, myself, is like with all this lots of information, my role now is actually to filter the information, and filtering information it is the next so-called full-time role. Instead of looking for information, because information is abound everywhere,
Yes.
right? And like so, what we do in this case as a team for us is that I find that we are trying to help people to filter information. Yeah, and so my call to you is that if you have a lot of information, you do not know whether those information should be taken or not. Speak to people, and not just or even like check out different channels, so that you can be able to find out which is suitable for you according to certain tried and tested systems and models about investment or even making certain decisions. That's what I think. Yeah.
So again, I'm going to use that soccer analogy. So other than understanding what is your risk profile, what is your overall portfolio, right? Another thing is that don't also invest based on impulse. And I think we talked about that last week. Don't act on impulse. Don't just follow news blindly. Yeah, because you're gonna get hurt. And if you don't know how hurt we have we are, right, you can look at our previous video where we talk about how much money we have lost previously, you know, from just investing by listening to other people's comment, you know. Yeah, so almost the same like playing a sports, right? You know, like you know, if you are too impulse, sometimes you act on impulse, and then that decision may not be something that's logical. May work for you, but it may also come against you. And most of the time, impulse investing, right, always work against you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yep, okay, that's all for us now. You know, just to wrap up, okay, guys, what we just talked about is that first of all, to buy or not to buy, I think we still go back to the fundamental question of whether what decision you make is a form of diversification. It actually manages your risk. Another thing is actually, you know, using the analogy of a football, okay, where you know, football has, you don't just have a striker. You have midfielders, you have defenders, and you have, you know,
Goalkeeper as well.
okay,
Yeah.
which is the last line of defense. Okay, so if you're making certain decisions, do you have last line of defense? Okay, and of course, like with the whole load of information that's coming from social media, okay, I think our job right now is actually not about like where to find information, but rather how to filter them to be useful for your current age, current stage of life. Okay, and taking into account the first 2 points that we've mentioned. Okay, so until then, guys, if you have any comments, please leave a message on our channel. And until then, have a good week ahead. Take care and God bless.
Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Bye.